Thumbs up. All right. Hi, everyone. And thank you for coming to day 2 of TGEX. We're so excited to have you guys here and more importantly, to hear from our insanely talented guests. I'll be one of your hosts. Although I'm dressed up as Killjoy today, my name is actually Riley.
And then hello, my name is Ashley, but I'm a Yoru main, so as you can see, love Yoru. But yeah, we're very excited to host this panel and have our wonderful Valorant VAs. And then let's just start out with introductions. I know they just introduced themselves, but if you can provide your name, what characters you voice.
Do I start? Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Vanille Velasquez. I am the voice of Neon.
Guys, I'm Carolina Ravassa. I do Raze. Fire in the hole!
Hey y'all, I'm Alejandro Antonio Ruiz and I voice Gekko.
All right, we kind of want to start out with some background questions. The first one I have for y'all is, what got you all into voice acting? Like, did you start out doing theater in school, or did you know specifically voice actor was the niche you wanted to go into?
Sure. No, I didn't always know that I wanted to be a voice actor. I grew up watching a lot of cartoons, playing a lot of video games, so always appreciated the work, even as a kid. I did want to become an actor, so I did end up moving into theater at some point, but I actually went to school for pre-vet. So I didn't start acting until my senior year in college. I took a voice acting class and things just kind of snowballed from there. And it was very unexpected, but it kind of fell in my lap. And I said, this is where life is pointing me, so I will run that way. Yeah.
I started acting when I was 4. I like to say acting chose me. I didn't choose it. Not professionally, just at school, just doing little plays, but I loved it. And I was a hyperactive child, so I think my mom felt like, okay, this will get the energy out so she can pass out at night. So that worked. And I studied theater in college because I knew that that's the one thing that made me really happy. And voice acting, it's funny, we say we fell into it, but you don't fall into it. It's because you're interested in the acting part. And I thought acting was, film and TV and theater. I loved cartoons and I loved Robin Williams growing up, but I didn't realize you could make a living off of voice acting or that it was something you could do. So I would audition for, voiceover stuff in New York that would be really boring radio commercials in Spanish because apparently they only wanted me to do Spanish work because I was Latina. And so it was a lot of just, Burger King and McDonald's in Espanol. And it really wasn't, it paid some bills, but not bills at all. I was waiting tables and doing the whole thing. And guys, Sombra came the 10th year of me auditioning for stuff in New York City. I was doing waiting tables, catering, babysitting, all the crazy jobs. Here and there, you'd get a little job that would pay some parts of the bills, and then Sombra happened, and I still wasn't paying my bills. I was getting month to month, making it happen. But it did kind of give me the idea to move to LA because I was meeting so many voice actors that were doing it, and I was like, oh, that's where it happens. It doesn't happen in New York, although a lot of things happen in New York. And so then, once I moved here, it kind of started really happening in the voice world. But it takes a lot of work and training and patience. Patience is the operative word.
So I've always been a little bit of a geek. I loved video games when I was a kid, loved anime and cartoons. But when you're a kid, you don't actually think about, oh, these characters are voiced by adults. You don't think about that. So I didn't know that I wanted to be a voice actor back then. But I did realize it fairly young, pretty young. I was 10 years old and we first just got Wi-Fi, and I was looking around on the internet and I stumbled upon a Wikipedia article about a voice actor and how they did all these roles, and I was like, wow, there's actually somebody doing that. I want to do that too. And from there, I started voice acting online, doing amateur stuff, hobby stuff. I was 10 at this point. And it was
10?
I was 10. It was just a hobby.
Wow.
and I sucked because I was trying to sound like these like characters that are like adults, and I'm 10 years old with my 10-year-old voice.
It's so cute. Do you have any recordings of that?
I do actually.
That'd
The
be
very
awesome to
first
listen
ones
to.
are still on YouTube because I forgot the password to the thing. So they're still
All right, guys,
there.
go Google it now.
Yeah, so
What-
they're
what's
out
the
there.
YouTube account?
Yeah. Yeah. What's that? Sorry?
What's the YouTube handle?
Oh my god, it's so nerdy. It was X Tifa X Lock Heart. Heart spelled as in HERT and then another X at the end because back then everybody wanted to put X's on their usernames. It's so cringe. Yeah, so I did that.
It's so great.
Yeah. Just doing that online. And then I think I was 17 when I saw on TV on our local anime channel in the Philippines, they were doing this like contest and also a reality show where they get like people who want to be voice actors, like, and then they teach them on this reality show. So I got on that, and then I auditioned, I got in, and then from there I started working in the local in the Philippines, like dubbing industry. But at the same time, I was also continuing doing independent stuff online on the internet. And then, you know, the pandemic happened at one point. And a lot of things flipped from being in studio to being just online, and that opened up a lot of opportunities for me. And it all snowballed and somehow led into Riot Games being in my email. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
Super great. It's really great to hear where you guys all like started. So the next question is, what's the biggest piece of advice you could give to someone who wants to get into voice acting?
Run the other way. No, I'm kidding. Please start.
Sure, I'll start. I would say two things. I would say that you are at your core an actor, right? Like, you can be a really good impressionist, you can mimic people's voices, but at the end of the day, when you're in the booth with a director, you still need to be able to adapt and act and take direction. So probably take acting classes would be my biggest piece of advice, because even if you can't do vocal mimicry, even if you've got just your singular voice, that's enough. That is still something that you can add to someone's project. And the other thing would be that there are many avenues of voiceover. It doesn't all, like, obviously the attention goes toward like anime, video games, but there are so many voice actors that make a living recording audiobooks, recording promo and trailers, which honestly pay the most. So it's learning that there are voices all over your day-to-day life that you maybe don't pay attention to, but someone did that. And you have to diversify in order to be a voice actor, I think. Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Classes are the best. Also, even if you're like a good actor, classes are where you meet other actors, and then that other actor might have gotten a manager and they are looking for somebody that fits your profile, or that other actor auditioned for a short film and then they can bring you on. Like, you need to start building a community of people that are doing things like you, and then you help each other. Because I can give you tips on the internet, but like when you're seeing someone face to face or talking to that teacher in person, and they're like, oh, this is a resource that's really great in San Diego, go check it out. Like, there is something about building community that is helpful, like you guys studying in college with friends. Like, that's what it is. You're building a group of people that are going to move on in the world together. We always recommend a website called iwannabeavoiceactor.com. D. Bradley Baker's amazing. He's the voice of Hammond in Overwatch, and a million gazillion other things. And I looked through that website, and I kid you not, he has answered every question. Like, it's an eternal website, and any question you have, you will find some sort of answer for it. And because this isn't a fast answer, I can give you like, write to, castings at riot.com. That doesn't exist. It's a really hard thing to do. And some of us get lucky and we live in the Philippines and they happen to be looking for a Filipino voice actor, right? After many years of doing it. But sometimes it's not like that. So, you gotta be doing all these different things before all of a sudden, oh, they need this very specific thing you offer, and you happen to be able to audition through an agent or through a friend or something. So check out the website, because it has so much valuable information that can help you for the rest of your life.
I'm trying to think of something that hasn't already been said. I guess if your situation is a little bit similar to me, you're a minority, make sure you're searchable online. So if there is another opportunity out there where they're looking for a specific ethnicity and you're it, make sure if they Google that plus voice actor, you're gonna be there. Like, that's on your bio, on your social media and all that stuff. And other than that, just know that it's not going to be instant. From when we talked about all of our journeys, it's a couple of years, a lot of long years. And so you have to prepare yourself for how long it could take to get your, your big role, like your big break or whatever they call it. And yeah.
Okay, thanks. I think it's really important to understand like both the person behind the character, and I'm sure if there's those of you who are interested in voice acting, great resources. So thank you for sharing some of your background information about yourselves. I think we'll transition to like some questions based more around like you and your character. So for the first one, I actually have, in acting, they always say that you bring a bit of yourself to the character. What aspects of yourself did you find easiest to find in your Valorant characters?
Where to start? I mean,
Is Neon a little toxic? I know Jet is. But is Neon a little bit like, fuck you, man? Ooh, can we swear?
she's not.
Now
You're good, you're good.
I opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's not outwardly like that. She's more like, oh, I don't really want to be here, kind of sarcastic, like passive in that way. And I think I could agree. I could, relate to that a lot. Not agree with that. I relate to that a lot. I remember she has a line where she goes like, please don't die. I hate making new friends. And that's like me. When I saw that on the script, I was like, yeah, that is definitely me. So I do relate a lot to just Neon's personality. It's funny because I also play a character in League, Zeri, and she's supposed to be like the complete opposite of Neon. So that's fun. She's like, happy, and Neon's like, I don't want to be here, but okay. And those are like the duality of the duality of my personality. I'm like, yeah, that they're basically me.
You're energetic, but you also don't want to be there at the same time.
Yeah.
I feel like with Raze, I mean, I'm energetic, as you can tell. I'm kind of still waking y'all up. I think one of the things I loved in the recording booth was that I went in thinking that, and I'll talk about Overwatch all the time, but I went in thinking that Raze was like a Lucio female version, just high energy, like super cool, loving, fun. But I hadn't tapped into this sort of like community building aspect she has. Like she's very much a caretaker. Like she has a mother instinct, even though she's badass and she's got guns, and you don't think that she could be motherly, but she is like, hey, surrounded by mi familia, we won't lose. Like, let's do this together. Let me help you, and that's a really beautiful thing about her that sometimes we forget when we're playing badass characters, because we forget that they can be so three-dimensional and interesting. And so I was keeping her very one note, very like, I got this, I'm a badass, let's do it. But then as a person, I do love bringing people together. I love bringing casts together so we can hang and so we can like bond. And so I loved that I was able to tap into that, to incorporate it into Raze. Besides her high energy and her like kookiness and her dumb dad jokes, like she can also be really like, hey, I got you. Let's take care of this. So that was cool.
There's so much of me and Gekko. It's probably unsettling to anyone who knows me. But it was also like the first time that I felt like I got to bring that much of myself to a character. They kind of let me just let go of the reins and said, go for it and give us everything you got. And it was pretty clear, like the final callback was in person. And I came in and it was pretty clear that the image that they had of Gekko was the image in the promo image the first image that released, with him kind of side-eyeing with the gun. They had this kind of very fierce image of him. And I came in bubbly, energetic, laughing at everything, improvising stuff. And I was like, this is the guys that I grew up with. This is my brother. This is me when I was younger. This is all those guys in East LA that don't take anything seriously, but then on the flip of a dime, they can get really serious and really passionate about something. So I connected to the character in a way that I didn't feel like a previous character had allowed me to. Also, just the love of animals. Like I said, I was pre-vet for some time. Right now, there's a little baby possum in my house that's waiting to be sent off to a rehab because we found him in my backyard. He was abandoned. So it's just, as soon as they showed me the concept art of Gekko with Wingman, there's this image in the concept art where they're like hugging each other really tight, and I thought, oh, I know what that feeling is, and I think we should be able to bring not only the toughness of him in combat, but that love that kind of runs underneath the whole time. So it was important, much like you said, to bring 3 dimensions to Gekko. Otherwise, he was just going to be this stereotype.
Totally.
Oh gosh, you guys have such good answers, and I was just like, yeah, I'm a sarcastic person. Like,
Oh, that's great. That's my answer for Sombra. Like I tap into her sarcasm. Like that's you though. How cool, you know? Yeah.
No, yeah, I love to see that the characters like they truly like are part of you, and like you're able to bring a little part of yourself into them. Like we definitely see it in character. Like yeah, these characters aren't just like stereotypes. Like they're iconic. So the next question is, do any of you guys ever play Valorant? And if so, do you often get recognized in voice, like in game for your voice? And how do those interactions usually go?
Well, first of all, the people coming in late, they have to leave. This is very disrespectful. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You just have to do the hokey pokey. But don't leave. Seriously, we're boring some people, I guess, or maybe they need their coffee. I'm joking. Continue. They're like, oh my god, I am toxic. I have not played Valorant because it's Raze is too hard and it's too freaking fast. When I've played Sombra a couple times. I swear to God, I start saying all the bad words I've ever learned in my life. In all the languages I speak, I tell everybody to fuck off. I'm like, fuck you, Genji! Like, it's really, really bad. And my heart rate goes up and my blood pressure goes up. And I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack or pass out. And I'm like, this is not good for my health. So I'm gonna let you guys play and I'll do my voice acting. And that's all we need because I get into it. And when I kill somebody, finally, because I'm so bad at aim, when I finally kill somebody, I'm like, ah! And you would think that I'm insane. And then I'm like, oh God, I am toxic. That's why I choose to not game.
I am exactly like that, except I actually play still. And I actually just like uploaded a video of me playing, and it is exactly as Carolina has already described. You know, a lot of screaming, cussing when you die, cussing when you win, cussing at everything in English, in Tagalog. Yeah. I do play. I like to play with my friends. I'm a casual player. I've never even ever like played like a ranked game because I don't want anybody to ask like, oh, what's your rank? So I just never play ranked. So I can always just say, oh, I don't have one. I don't play ranked. I'm always on unrated.
You taught me a swear word in Tagalog on our stream, or something that Neon says is kind of like dickish.
I think I did. Wait, did I teach you her alt line?
I don't. Maybe. I'm like, it was so long ago. But what's her alt again?
She says, oh wait, no, that's not her alt line. Never mind. The one she says it at the start of a match.
Yeah.
I think she goes, I'll show them. Intik kayo. I think that's what she said.
Intik kayo. That. What
Yeah,
was that?
intik
What's that?
kayo. And it means it literally translates to I hope you get hit by lightning. But
Mother of God, Filipinos, man.
yeah, but these days lintik is more of just like a general swear word. Like where I'm from in Manila, I don't hear a lot of people saying it, but where I'm from my hometown in Bulacan, we do say lintik a lot. Like lintik naman, like as a like oh shit, like
I
that's
hope
how
you
we
get
say
struck
it.
by lightning.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what lintiker means.
Yep.
I'm
What do you say
scared
when
of
you stream?
y'all.
Exactly.
I was gonna ask, are you guys competitive? I got my answer.
Oh, I'm not though. I'm so bad that I think the frustration makes me like when I finally do kill after 75 tries, then I like writhe in like insanity. But I maybe is that competitive, guys? I don't know. Do you play?
I've played before. Yeah.
Sounds so scared.
I brushed up when I knew I was getting the job because I
Oh.
knew Vanille, so I started
Yeah, we
playing
worked on
before
something
then. I knew her before I got this job. For Gekko, rather.
How?
We work on a kids show together.
Yeah, where he actually we play animals there. So
Yeah.
Oh my God.
so it ties it
Yeah,
together.
Is it an American show?
No, it's where's it based?
It's in Singapore. It's a Singaporean show called Lil Wild, and I play an otter, and you play like a little.
I
is he an
play a
alligator?
little alligator and
Yeah.
a little pigeon.
How did you get this job? Based out of Singapore.
I was living in DC. The audition came my way, and I did it.
That's amazing. Freaking A.
And so I ended up on a cartoon with her, and then the
Hell
rest
yeah.
is history. But we didn't know, like, she was one of the first people that I told when I was able to announce Gekko, like the day before. And I was like, I got it, that's me. And she was like, I thought so.
Oh.
Yeah, cause like they shared like they started like sharing the Gekko teasers, the little videos, and I think I shared one, and then I got a DM from Alejandro, and I was like, oh my god, no way, we're in another thing together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
But
So
wait,
it's
wait.
like but anyway, yes.
Are you good at Valorant?
No.
Oh, okay, okay.
Do you enjoy it?
Because my gaming experience, I do enjoy it. I'm not a very competitive person, just in general. So that doesn't factor in. I don't get all my gaming experience is usually like I need to mellow out. Like my day has been long. I just want to chill. And so I grew up on like RPGs mostly,
Oh,
like
yeah.
story-based games.
So how's a first-person shooter mellow, dude? Like really? No, really. How can you
It's
like?
it's about what you bring
I don't
to it.
know.
Okay, okay.
You know,
Cool.
it's like if I am letting my stress out this way, but I don't get all loud. and
But don't
stuff.
you just die immediately if you're like mellowing out? Like it's so fast.
No, it's like being in it's like tunnel vision. It's like being in the zone for me.
cool, cool. No, I get that. I get that. I mean, I get it. I can't relate, but I get it.
I also like the stress factor of it doesn't really hit me as much because I grew up with a big family and a lot of siblings.
Okay.
So it's just I mean maybe it's just different for you, but I was like I was used to the yelling. I was used to all this, so I was able to just tune that out.
Amazing, amazing.
You know, as someone who started playing Valorant in 2020 during my senior year of high school during COVID, I feel like I was more like you two, where I think I used that game to get my aggression out. Like
Yeah, that's good.
all
that's
these
good.
outside sources, I was like, oh my gosh. But I feel like now I can be more like Alejandro. I feel like I took a
Zen.
step back and I was like, I don't need to be like this over a video game, but I like Killjoy. So, all right, I have the next question for you guys. I said, the three of you are all in massive video game franchises, with we've mentioned Carolina being Sombra, Vanille being Zeri in League of Legends, and Alejandro, you were recently added to the cast of Guilty Gear Strive. Oh my gosh. I said, what is it like being the voices behind such major franchises? And like, is there one character you end up getting yourself like noticed for more, or how was that experience like?
Shall I? guess.
Go, shall you?
Yeah, I would say right now, I think Gekko's like still the most recognizable. I think it helps that he's such a big personality and that he's like so bubbly and colorful, and people fall in love with his critters because why wouldn't you? But yeah, recently I was cast in Guilty Gear Strive. I joined as Paracelsus, who's like this big anthropomorphic key who gets to make all these little quips. Because he's basically a weapon that talks. It's like an axe. And there was all this hubbub about who's the voice, and they thought it was like Yuri Lowenthal, and people were guessing. And I was like so flattered, but I was like, no, it's me.
It's me.
I was like, little old me. Because people were like, who? And I was like, exactly.
Love it.
But yeah, it's been fun. It's never expected, but it's always nice to be recognized for your work.
Yeah, I feel like, God, I was lucky to join the Overwatch cast, and Sombra had a great ARG, so they announced it at BlizzCon after a lot of hype, and I didn't know what ARG was. I still don't know what the darn letters stand for. I was like, the AR who? But it was exciting to kind of get to go on that journey with the Overwatch cast and experience gaming from your point of view. I'm a terrible gamer. I'm terrible. And so learning how first-person shooters and live games can bring people together from all over the world is the most beautiful thing. And so I feel like Overwatch kind of gave me my legs in understanding Comic-Cons and gaming and voice acting and the gamer community, the toxicity and the love. And then when Raze came along, it's just like, oh, cool, more of this in a different family. And also understanding that, like, you know, Valorant is more esports oriented and how that differs. But I feel like those are the two main ones that people get excited about. There are more to come, but I cannot tell you.
Same.
Yeah, so I'm also in League of Legends and Wild Rift, the mobile version. I'm Zeri. And so when I first got these auditions, I auditioned for both Neon and Zeri like at the same time.
Whoa.
Yeah, they wanted just one person to voice them for some reason, but lucky enough that worked well for me. So, and at the time when I got these auditions, I was actually unfamiliar with Valorant. Like Valorant was just about to turn like 1 year old at the time. I've not heard of it yet, but I've definitely seen it. Like once I found out what it was, I was like, oh, okay, that's the game my brother has been playing all this time. But so when I got those auditions, I was actually a lot more like excited about League because I knew League. I was very familiar with League, and League of Legends was like very, very big in the Philippines, still is. So I was really, really psyched about that. But ironically, once everything came out, like when my character's already in the game and stuff, I felt a lot more hype for Valorant, and I do get recognized way more for Valorant. Sometimes people forget I'm there, and I have to be like, I'm
Is it
also in
League has like 200
ho-
freaking characters?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
probably.
why.
Also, you mentioned it, but I just realized today is the 4th anniversary of Valorant.
What?
To
Is
the,
it?
To the day, it's Valorant's birthday
Shut
today.
the front door.
Turns 4.
Like today?
Yeah, today.
Oh.
We were in the middle of the pandemic, guys.
Yeah.
Woo.
Wait, did it like
Wow.
release like out of beta like today?
Yes,
Oh, wait, that's so high.
June
That's
2nd,
cool.
2020.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, happy birthday, Valorant.
The game is so.
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Whoa,
Valorant.
this caused a commotion. What's happening, guys? What are we talking about? What? Oh, cool, cool. Okay. I was like, doo doo doo.
All right, going to the actually, I really relate to Vanille's answer because when I only played League of Legends, so when Zeri came out, I was like, let's go, new ADC, let's do it. And then I didn't start playing Valorant until like last winter, but I definitely can see like because you hear the voice actors all the time during Valorant, like that's the entire point of the game. Whereas League, it's like, you know, you just know one or two like voice lines, but. No, it's very
Yeah.
cool that you guys have had this like experience. So in Valorant, the characters not only speak out their abilities, but they often banter with other members of the cast. Do you have any specific favorite interactions or a character interact with? So these are like the character interactions that happen either even in League of Legends too or Valorant.
I have a favorite, and it's with Raze.
Remind me.
Okay. Oh, I love this one. I think it goes, "Oi, Raze, Raze." Di ba na nga? Or something like that. It's my favorite because I had tweaked that line a bit myself. Initially, the line was in English, completely in English, like, "Hey, Raze, never mind," or "Forget about it," or something like that. And I changed the "never mind" into Tagalog, "Di bali na nga," like, forget about it. Like, so I'm really proud of that one, and I often mention it when somebody asks what my favorite line is. So
I have so many, but I love that Raze is always kind of like sweetly like nudging her cast members. I love the Brimstone music line, and I was just supposed to say Brimstone, but I'm like, oh, in Brazil they do Inho to like Little Brimstone, and even though he's like a big badass, she's like, hey, Little Brimstone, you know, Brimstonezinho, and so I like that I was able to add that too. I love that they ship Killjoy and Raze. So, hey, Killjoy, after this, you want to do some tinkering? I love that has its little, you know, double entendre. Yeah. And I was thinking about it. Oh, one of the things that was cool was there was a line that I'm saying about somebody being a jerk. And so they asked me, like, how do you say jerk in Portuguese? And I was like, oh, it's tough sometimes to translate words like that, but I'm like, babaca. But I was like, but that sounds dumb. And they're like, and just say that. And so then I'm just like, that's so dumb. And so I feel like a lot of the times we were finding stuff like with you that it was like, oh, what makes more sense in this language or the other? And let's make it our own. And I feel like the team was really cool about helping us do that.
they were.
So even I'm a horrible person. Who's the one that has the arm? Breach. Yeah, Breach. And so I at one point I say something like, hey, Breach, you're looking good with that arm. And like, Raze isn't really flirting with him, but she's trying to make him feel good, you know? And so I love that, like, we kind of were able to turn it into that, like, you're looking sexy there, with, you know? And I feel, but she's totally into Killjoy and not Breach. But it's sweet that she's just like, yeah, man, looking good. So I feel like that kind of hype man energy is super cool.
I relate to that entirely. Just this idea of like I got to go in and just hype up everyone else and just
Yeah.
like come up with nice nudging jokes that were still kind of friendly. I have two that came to mind for similar reasons as Vanille. The first is with Neon, and they're kind of lines where he's responding to something that his creatures have done. Because the first one he goes, Neon, Mosh kind of likes you.
I know this one.
And he's like teasing, but I love this undercurrent because I was just like, that's him. He's just teasing everybody.
Wait, what's Mashkana?
Mosh, the little green.
Your little dude.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I had such a potty mouth. Okay, got it. That's
Oh,
so
you're
cute.
Yeah. So all his creatures are I just get this like through the sessions. It was like this image of like they're whispering things to him, and only he can understand. He's having to translate. The other Thrash says something about chamber that isn't translated, and can't share that. But what I love.
You can?
Well, no, I can't.
Come on.
It's only been a year.
Okay.
But Thrash says something not so nice about Chamber, and then Gekko responds, "Don't listen to her, Chamber. You look great." and originally, when that first happened in the recording booth, they didn't expect me to deliver it like that, because I thought in my head like, oh, Gekko's like he has an opinion, but he's trying to be nice to his friend. But they wrote it as just a sincere compliment.
Yes.
So when it came out, I just hear in my headphones the director and all the writers burst out laughing. And it was the first take, and they were like, well,
That's it.
let's move on. We got it.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
I think I'd actually seen a clip of you talking about that specific chamber interaction, which
just
kind of
stuck
like
with me. I
inspired
was like,
me to write something like this because I thought that was so funny. Like, I just love that so much. All right, I kind of have another fun question for you guys. I said, if you could voice any other character in Valorant, who would you choose, and why do you think that's the choice for you? This might be a hard one.
Look, if I could make Steve Bloom's voice come out of my body, Brimstone. God, it's he's so delicious. I mean, yeah, Brimstone. No, his voice is like butter. It's just so delightful, you know?
Get a room.
God, right? By the way, Steve Bloom records meditations. So if you just want to go on his website and like buy one and just listen to it all the time, thank you. You're welcome.
Wow, I didn't know he did that. Trying to think. I mean, if I were to give a similar answer, it would be Viper for me because I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say I'm a huge fan of Ashley Birch. One of the voice actors who I really looked up to, and
Yeah.
it's still crazy to me. I'm in a video game with her, but yeah.
I would realistically, if there was maybe a slight redesign, I don't know, but as someone who's non-binary and loves doing a Scottish accent, I think I would be really good to do Clove because I really do enjoy this new character.
Oh my God, so good.
So cute.
And I'm excited to see what Gekko's lines are interacting with Clove.
That's so cool.
Would it be possible for you guys to give an example of a voice line from the characters you just said?
Oh shoot.
Oh,
I don't know
set myself up for
Brimstone's lines.
failure.
We can get some.
If you
audience
give me
help.
some, I'll do.
Alright.
do it.
What's
Yeah.
a Brimstone line?
Oh, open the sky. Open up the sky. Wait, what does he scream that's super random, like Lucy or something like
Any Brimstone means?
Molly, Lucy, Molly? I knew it was a lady name, but you know, I don't even think Steve knows what it means. But he screams it.
Yeah. Oh no, everyone's waiting for me.
Channel your inner
I
sexy
I
goddess.
cannot. This is just gonna come out in my voice. I can't do that. If I knew this was the next question, I would not have said Viper.
Oh.
No, this is just an Ashley passion question. There's no pressure. You don't have
Here,
to.
would you say, welcome to my world or something.
Oh wait, Sky. Sky's fun. She's just like
She
doo, doo, doo,
is.
doo, doo. Like what's her ultimate? I always forget.
You seek them out.
Oh yeah.
Seek them out. And she's always just like, isn't she always kind of like super chipper?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
the Hawks out?
Hulk out. That one.
Like she goes
Hawk
Hawks out. Pointed. Can you guys try that?
Blinded or something like
Oh,
that.
blinded.
Ashley's
My
very
my
passionate
Australian
about
turns into
this.
British. It's terrible.
Australian is hard.
It is, but
It
it's
is
cool.
so-
Yeah.
I don't have one. I'll just do the one where they mimic Wingman. Because that's my favorite.
No, you know what we should have fun doing is each other's ultimates, and that way we can like listen to them in real time and then do them in our own character.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
If you're cool, I took over a question here.
Nah, you got it. You got this.
Oh, okay. Everyone's waiting for me again.
Yes.
Oh, so mine first? Right?
Yeah.
What is it again? Oh,
There's two, aren't there? Like the enemy and then.
so both of them.
Sure.
Okay. Here we go. And hi, I'm pissed.
Here we go. I'm pissed.
Here we go. Oi, I'm pissed.
All right. Here comes the party. The other one's part of the hole. Fire in the hole.
Here comes the party. Fire in the hole.
Woo. He's so sweet.
Here comes the party. Fire in the hole.
Yay.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose. It's all you, little homie.
I saw you, little homie. Hey, monster on the loose.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose. What was the next one? Is that you, little homie? Sorry, I forgot.
Wait, what is it, little homie?
It's all you,
It's
little
all
homie.
you,
It's
little
so
homie.
cute. Like, why are you so adorable? Ah, I just want to like put him in my pocket, you know?
Thank you so much for doing that. That made me extremely happy. It was so cute. Okay, so our last question for today, until we open up the Q&A, is Valorant has made official playlists for all their agents on Spotify. But do you have a specific song that you often think of when you think about your agents?
Oh, that's so easy. The song that plays on her trailer, "Entertain Me" by Lona Garcia.
That's cool. You know, when I saw this question here, I was like, I got a playlist. So I went to the Spotify and opened it up, and holy shit, they it's like pretty badass. They had Taki Taki there. It's the Selena Gomez.
Oh, that one,
Is it Bad Bunny? No, Ozuna.
Mm.
It's like a reggaeton, and I was like, yeah, Raze would listen to that shit. But in the booth when I was recording, I requested Magalena. It's a Brazilian song. And I just wanted to listen to that one because it kind of got me into the Brazil vibe.
I made my whole other playlist separate to what Riot did that I would listen to when I would drive to the studio every day. So if you're looking for that, it's on Spotify. You just search for Gekko.
You're so
Because I was
cute.
asked to make it public at one point. But there's a bunch of stuff because I created this whole world of like, these are the sounds that he grows up around. This is what his mom listens to. This is what he listens to. So music is a big part of my process.
So cute.
That's awesome.
That's so awesome. I love that. Thank you guys. All right. I think we're going to take a few audience questions with our remaining time. I think, Tony, you're our mic runner, correct? If there's anybody first who wants to ask a question, raise your hand and then have Tony listen to it, and then we'll have a question.
So if you have a question, feel free to
We
line
don't bite.
Much.
feel free to line up against this mic.
Raze
And
would though.
then-
She would bite.
And then we'll try to get through it. And the panel will be ending at
Hello,
around like
hello.
1:40ish.
I came from the tech booth, so I had to make sure. I was hoping that this would work.
Yep, tech check. So yeah.
So, all of you guys are in. I feel like there's kind of two different kinds of games where like League kind of has all these voice lines that you make once, and then like they add more characters, but they just kind of interact with you and you don't really respond. Whereas with Overwatch, and I think somewhat with Valorant as well, kind of feels like it more evolves over time. So like how is that like different for each of you, and what does it feel like being able to like evolve with it?
For Overwatch, it's cool because and it will happen with Valorant eventually. as we do more panels like this, because I'm getting to know them as we speak. Like I didn't know either of these processes or like how they connected to the characters. So I think that once we start getting to know the voice actors better too, and hear the voice lines that Gekko does, and then it's like we develop this relationship. It's cool because we get to continue the life of these characters at Comic Cons or with gamers online, on Twitter, on Twitch, all the things. So we kind of like they keep living in us instead of like when you do a voice and then it was 8 years ago, but you didn't revisit it. So I feel like that's kind of cool that like now I can go in and go, oh, I know how Sombra would speak to Sigma, you know, I know how she'd feel about this. Or Malga, I want to punch him in the face, you know, like that kind of thing. And so I think with Raze, I haven't had too many opportunities to go in and record the responses yet. But sometimes it'll be like, there's a new character coming and this is what's up. And so, oh, I heard about a new character and I was really excited. I just remembered. But I'm not talking about that right now because you can't know anything. So it is just really special to have it live and breathe and keep growing and it grows with us. So I'm not really answering your question, but it's a fun experience is basically what I'm saying.
I don't think I've recorded a lot of responses to the new agents. I know I did one for Clove though, something about Clove watching cooking videos. I think at 2 a.m. or something like that. But I remember I had a session a couple months back, and I asked them, "Can I say something to Gekko?" I remember I asked them that. Yeah, and they were like, "Yeah, what do you want to say?" And we had to write like a line like on the spot. And then they said that they were gonna have Alejandro like
and then
next
a few
week.
months later, or weeks later,
Yeah.
they had me in and they were like, okay, what would Gekko say? So it was really nice because we get to bring in a little bit of that real life.
Is that out yet, that
Dynamic.
interaction?
I was gonna ask, is it in the game?
I don't know.
already?
There are some that are really rare, as I've noticed, because like Gekko has a line that he responds to Clove, but I've only seen maybe a handful of videos where people have managed to get that interaction. So,
So we don't know.
Hunt it down, look for it.
but it is, to answer the question, it is really cool just to kind of know that they're going to be calling you back in and that you get to bring more and more to this character, because the more you do it, the more you're like, oh, I know how this person, this fictional person would respond in this situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember when I asked me, what do you want to say to Gekko? I blanked. I was like, I didn't know they were going to ask me what I wanted to say. Like, I thought they would write one for me. Like, I was, next time I'll be more prepared. I'll have like a whole list on my phone, like things to say to Gekko and Raze. Like,
yes. My new homies.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering.
you.
That was from Josh, our tech guy in there. But yeah, next
Yeah,
question.
Josh with the hair.
Josh.
Hi. My name's Bree. Firstly, I want to say you guys are so cool. It feels kind of surreal to like hear everything in person, but I just wanted to ask, or I wanted to say, like, I'm Filipino too, so I wanted to know what.
hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah. I wanted to know, like,
Kababayan.
from Neon, like, what your favorite cuisine is, or like, what do you think Neon's favorite food is in Filipino culture? But I think it'd be fun to know, like, Raze and Gekko's too.
Ooh, my head canon is that Neon loves kwek kwek, this Filipino street food. It's like little orange balls, and they didn't call it this when I was growing up, but the kids these days call it neon balls because it's like neon orange.
Oh,
Like the color is like neon orange, really bright orange.
How are you not freaking out about this? That's amazing.
Oh, I just got that. Okay.
I would be like, oh, Raze balls, you know, they're so delicious. Holy shit.
not I just got
So
that.
cool.
Oh my god.
They're great though. I love them. They're my favorite. Kwek kwek. Let's just
Vanille,
call them
you're
kwek
perfect.
kwek.
You need to start like marketing these on a t-shirt or something. Oh my god. Sorry, Raze would probably in Salvador Bahia. I think it's moqueca would be like the kind of stew that they love, but pão de queijo is the Brazilian cheese bread that you'll find at any freaking restaurant, and I think it's crack. It's so good. So it would be that.
Canonically, Gekko, tamales, boba.
Boba.
But also, and this is a conversation that I've had with them as we were creating the character, he just loves to eat. He just loves food. So growing up in LA, probably everything.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
And neon balls.
I have a follow up to the boba question. What
Sure.
flavor do you think Gekko would like?
He's been pictured with ube a few times. So I have an affinity toward that myself as well. There were times where I would bring boba into the sessions.
Why are you
Um,
so adorable?
So I'm not sure how much of that was them, translating me and whatnot. But yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, let's go down a little bit.
Oh no!
Name's Jose. First up, again, I was not expecting to hear Fire in the Hole today in the morning when I woke up. So it's amazing. Because I have a quick question, especially for Vanille. Since there's so much like lore behind the games, especially like League and Overwatch, like there's so much like story if you really look into it.
Yeah.
Do you guys read into like the lore of the game? Or they give you like a summary of what's been happening with the story, and then you build the character from that, or do you just gonna give like the voice lines and like, all right, figure it out from there?
Dude, we wish we got a freaking backstory. Right?
I got a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I get so little. What the heck? Talk to me. No, really? Like, they give us some background, but not a lot. Like, short films come out and we have no idea. I have no idea.
Then again, that's most video games, though. As a voice actor, especially for video games, they don't really give you much prep. You'll see the script the day of. You don't really get advance notice. So you're often doing a cold read. And if you're lucky, they'll tell you in the moment what it's for, what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I always got my script in advance for some reason for Valorant. And I would make little notes, like I would review it, I'm like make little notes and stuff. But no, yeah, I looked into the lore myself. We had to do that. We don't get told stuff. I made sure to do that on before my very first session. And luckily at the time Valorant was still new, so there wasn't a lot of lore to catch up on. Now I'm all lost in the lore. I don't know what's happening anymore. But for League, I only looked into Zon and Piltover's, lore. Because if I had to read everything about League, I would be there like all day, like all week reading about it. But I did watch Arcane too. I love Arcane.
Oh, nice.
Wait, Paul, with Arcane's mention, hypothetically, if Zeri were to be included in season 2 that's coming out, to be voicing it.
I always get asked that.
kill you.
Unfortunately, no, she's not gonna be in it. I didn't do anything, you guys. I'm not there. I wish. I'm a huge fan of the show, but I think she's gonna be there. I think I read it somewhere that they even like moved Zeri's like launch away from Arcane, so people wouldn't be confused about a new Zon champion releasing in the middle of Arcane, and she's not in Arcane. So, judging from that, I don't think she'll be in Arcane.
All right, thank you.
Arcane Season 3.
Baby.
I don't know about that.
How y'all doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing amazing, especially watching y'all talk. When you guys are playing Valorant, first off, do you feel inclined to play your own characters? Or, like, in terms of, like, play
Guys,
style,
he woke up late, didn't he? He walked in a little bit late. We're going to give you a little shit for it. I'm kidding.
No, I came here on time.
Oh,
I
I'm
just wanna
shit.
hear
I'm a
you
horrible
delve into
person.
it. Thanks.
No. I'll let them answer because I suck at playing. So, no, I have not played Raze.
I do play Neon, and it's funny because once, I don't normally. I'm like, okay, I gotta click it right away. But one time, I was too chill about it, and somebody else picked Neon before me, and I was like, because I always play with like the voices, the comms turned off. So I was like, how do I talk to this dude? Like, how do I make him like change? Like, and then I just ran out of time, and so I had to play. I think. I even forgot to like pick anybody. I think it randomized the Sova. And I'm like, I don't know how to use Sova.
I also play with comms off because I do not want to be recognized. So yeah, I've played Gekko before, but honestly, when I was like brushing up when I first got the role as a tribute to Vanille, I was playing Neon a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you don't want to troll people as Gekko?
No.
No?
No, that's not it. No me nace. It's not an impulse. It's
Okay.
yeah.
No, I get it.
Plus, there's plenty of people that are doing a good job, and I've seen a lot of videos, which is great.
Oh yeah, me too.
Also, my favorite voice line in the entire game is when Raze goes, "Other KO, put a shirt on." Can you say that for me?
Other.
Okay.
It's like, "Other KO, put a shirt on."
Do I say that? Oh my gosh. Other KO, put a shirt on.
Thank you.
I forget the cadence because I never know which one they've chosen. So I hope I
That's
got
true,
it.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo, what's good, all?
Hi.
Y'all, I just want to preface this by saying thank you so much for taking the time to come out to UCSD and do this panel for us. And also, I'll say straight up, I'm sorry, I don't main any of your characters. I'm a big Astra main.
We forgive you.
sorry, y'all know.
Astra's cool.
It's
But I was
okay.
wondering, like, how's it working with the Astra VA?
Unfortunately, no,
Effie.
we don't get to work together. It sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
But I have had many chats with her
like, live
digitally because
streams, yeah.
she's based outside of the states.
She's the cutest.
She's in
She's
Australia
very
now, I
very
think.
sweet. She does a lot of theater. That's what she's doing right now.
In Australia,
and
right?
that's- Yeah, and that's kind of how she was discovered. Is she was doing theater and had never done a video game audition before, and it just things lined up, and they really liked her for the part.
Yeah, we always record alone, which sucks. I wish we could do it in groups or opposite other people. The one funny thing about Astra is in the pandemic, I was doing Twitch live interviews with the VAs for Valorant. The first like I don't know 12, and then I got burned out in life. You know, I don't know how Twitch streamers do it. You guys are amazing. So I had a Zoom link for her to hop onto, and then the Twitch link so she could share. She shared the Zoom link on her public profile. So I'm like sitting there waiting for her, and then like these people in freaking Ghana start popping on to watch, and I'm like, "Hi, what are you doing here?" And they, I'm a friend of Astra's, and I'm like, you need to get out of this Zoom. Like it was so funny and weird, but she was just like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And she was like apologetic, but she's just like a bubbly, loving, beautiful human.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Was there like 200 people in that Zoom meeting?
Almost. It was gonna be a lot, but I caught it really fast. And poor thing, she was on her way to an online cafe because you know that's what she had to do to get online to do the Twitch live stream. So she was in transit driving. I was like, "Don't crash. It's okay. If people come on the link, I'll just shoo them away." But she had to change all her profiles to put the Twitch link on. It was funny.
You sound like stay safe, girl. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all of your amazing work. You bring so much life to the characters in the game. And I think this might be a common experience, but like at the beginning of matches, I try to mimic all of the characters' voice lines. And then just like in random situations, I'll like mimic a voice line, and then my friends will call me cringe for it.
So I'm just gonna ask you to mimic our voice lines now.
Oh, well, I can't do that. I'm asking the question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Good save.
But yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, if you were to come up with a new voice line right now on the spot, what would it be?
People are always asking me to put a Tagalog like cuss line for Dion in there. If I could, I would want to put in how we say shit in Tagalog because it's a little different. We change the I into an E and we say shit instead. I think that would be kind of funny. I don't know. If they'll let me. I don't think they will. I think they try to limit like the cuss in the game. I don't know.
Go.
There was a line that didn't make it that I had improvised at one point because I wanted to do a tribute to Selena Quintanilla.
Oh, cool.
From the movie, there was what's that thing she says at the concert? She was like, "Missy." Oh, that's what it was. So it was a match start line, and they were like, "Okay, come up with a line that you know he's excited to join the match or whatever." And I was like, "Me siento muy excited," and that's exactly what she said because she couldn't speak much Spanish at the time, so she was switching between those. But another one that I wanted to add that I never got the chance to, but who knows, maybe it'll happen. My dad and a lot of people growing up in East LA say "for reals" a lot.
I love it.
And so, like, I wanted to find a way to incorporate that and just be like, "I got him in the head, for reals."
I feel like I've been toying with this one between Sombra and Raze, but like I think either could pull it off because Sombra quotes movie scripts, but Raze also has like that dad joke thing going. So I feel like I'd like her to say, "You're killing me, Smalls." Some of you are too young to know. I feel like an old lady saying that, but you know, sorry? No, it's The Sandlot. Close. But similar vibe. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, you're killing me, Smalls.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to say thanks for coming out. It's really nice to see you guys live. But my question was kind of what Gekko, or your name's not Gekko, but Were there any lines that you improv that you were really excited to see in the game but didn't make the final cut?
There were so many. That was one that came to mind like right off the top of my head, but there were so many.
How do you still remember? I don't remember what I improvised, so I don't know what
Yeah.
I improvised and
Well,
didn't make it because I
mean,
don't
in
remember.
my case, like I remember them because it was like so much of the process was like, hey, go wild. Like
Yeah.
we don't
Ah.
have a fully structured script. We have
Yeah.
an outline.
Yeah,
You know?
I love that. I don't know which ones didn't make it, but the ones that did, I have backstory. At one point, oh my God, what was the darn improv? Well, so the director was like, "Hey, just keep rolling. We're gonna record everything." And I was like, "Are you sure I'm gonna say some stupid shit?" And they're like, "It doesn't matter. Like sometimes that's the best stuff, or then we tweak it or whatever." And so the line was originally written properly. You can take a girl out of Salvador, but you'll never take Salvador out of a girl. And I go, you can take the girl out of, Bahia, Salvador. You can take a girl out of Bahia, but you can never take the girl out of, wait, what? And I fucked the line up, but I say it in character. I'm like, wait, how does it go? Like that stupid American line. And so I just kept it. And they're like, we're keeping that. And so, and then when they said yes, I was like, money, baby, this is money. Joking, like, I'm coming up with some stupid shit, but you're liking it. And they're like, and we're keeping that one too. And I'm like, okay. So like sometimes you don't know like what's gonna make it. And I was just improvising in her voice, not thinking it was like a keeper, but instead of just switching to Carolina and be like, money, baby. And so then that's how that line came to be. And so a lot of those little things happen like that by mistake, which I think is really, really cool.
It's beautiful.
That's so cool.
Ta-da.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. So I kind
Hi.
of have two questions, if that's okay. First off, I was wondering, like, out of all the roles you've done, like, what's your like favorite? If it's not too hard.
I mean, right now in my life, Raze and Sombra are like a perfect combination of my personality. I love the dark humor Sombra has, and I love, as you can tell, I'm so sorry, whoever asked about gaming, and I said you showed up late. I'm a dickhead. I love messing with people. It's like, I broke your heart. Come and get a picture afterwards. We'll we screw around a lot as Colombians, as Latinos, I don't know, and as the character, I love that. But then raises energy, as you can tell, at noon on a Sunday. So and they have changed my life. The director of VALORANT that directed me and my session is now my fiance. So
No.
it changed my life. Yeah. The director is David Lyerly. He voice directed the first 12 agents. He also voice directed Arcane. And we met doing that, and then 2 years later, we bumped into each other, and the rest is history. But video games change our lives.
That's so cool. I know. I'm shocked. What was the question? I was like so like whoa about that I forgot.
Your
what the
favorite character
question
that you
was.
voiced?
Yeah, it's still Neon for me for a similar answer. Not that level of change my life, but because she also changed my life. I've never been like a guest at conventions before Neon, and that was the thing that people wanted me in conventions for. I did my first convention in the Philippines about this time last year, and that was really cool, and it was so surreal, to have these like lines of people like waiting to like meet you. Like that's what is that? Like how does that happen? And I did a panel, my first ever panel, that same convention. And I remember I was sitting there with Sean Shiplock and Adam MacArthur, and I was just like, in the middle of it, like halfway through this panel, I started crying. I was like, because it's also kind of Sean Shiplock's fault because he told a really great story about he met his wife. And I was like, so touching. The floodgates just opened, and I was like, I can't believe I'm sitting here next to you guys. Like, yeah, so Nia.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, in a similar vein, Gekko really opened the door for me. I have a hard time saying that each one is that there's like a favorite, because I'm still at that point in my career where every single job feels like a blessing. And I'm still at the point where it's not really real to me that I get to do something I love, because I grew up in a family that was really poor, a family of immigrants. Everyone did manual labor. So I'm just grateful for every job. that's just what it is. And like from the first one and on, like there's stuff that hasn't even come out yet that I'm excited about, and I'm just like glad that my grandparents are alive to see it.
Amen.
Thank you. That was so beautiful, guys. And then the second question was, what would like a dream role be? Like,
A sidekick on a Disney animation. Like, I want to be the next Timon or whatever the hell all of them. Hey, and Moana. Like, all of those are my favorites, and I want to be one of them.
I like that. I want to be a bad guy. I
Hell
want to
yeah.
be a villain, like really, really just ruthless villain. I don't know how. Maybe like a young psychopath. I don't know.
Psycho. young.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with this voice, come on. I'm no Steve Bloom or Bloom.
Oh, I have so many. Well, I'm just gonna give one. Like I've been, like I mentioned earlier, like my old embarrassing YouTube username has the name of a Final Fantasy character. So I've always wanted to be in Final Fantasy since I was a little nerd. So I want to be in Final Fantasy. Woo!
aw, yay. Thank you so much.
Wait, I'm changing my answer. I also would like to be in Final Fantasy YouTube. Hi. I would like to be in Final Fantasy, preferably as like an awkward goth. Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah, we have that recorded now if anyone is watching.
Yay. Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you guys for coming. You guys are amazing. I was wondering, what are your guys' like favorite video games if you have one?
Super Mario Kart.
We were just playing like the other night. I think you can tell that I like Final Fantasy. Yeah, I was play. I played Persona, one of my favorite video games of all time. Is Life is Strange 2. I actually prefer the sequel. What other games? Yeah, we play a lot of Mario Kart. Tekken was a big favorite growing up. And when I'm sad or bored, I like to play a lot of The Sims. Like I'll just play it for like a couple days straight. Like, yeah.
Final Fantasy, specifically 10 and X2 because I like to dress up. And they had all the different outfits, which is super gay, but it's Pride Month, so yes.
Is Gekko gender neutral? No.
We haven't. We're not allowed to say these things.
Oh, okay, got it. Great. Cool.
We're not allowed to make these statements.
Right. Cool. I hope in lore we can find these out soon.
I hope so too.
Cool.
I'll say that much. But yeah, Final Fantasy X, X2, Hades is a new favorite because I lose so much time to it. There's a ton of other ones, but they're not coming to mind right now. But yes, I was a total geek.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you for coming out to UCSD and everything. The question I wanted to ask is, before your characters and their voice actors were officially announced, were you having trouble like keeping it to yourself or like not feeling the information?
Look, we'll lose our job if we like put something on the internet, so we kind of have to keep it to ourselves. Or, you know, one says friend DA, you can tell your closest friend maybe, but we're technically really not supposed to share anything. So, because people get fired because of leaking information. So I take that very seriously.
It wasn't hard to keep that information because, like,
Really?
throughout. No, now you have to go. Go.
Friendly, but I was so paranoid. It got to a point. Of course, I did. It's okay. We admit this now, right? Like I told like my closest, only the closest, because I was so paranoid that it was gonna get out, and it was gonna leak. So I only told like the very closest. Like you had to be super tight with me to know. But even then, I was super paranoid. Like I was doubting my best friend. Like is my best friend gonna turn on me and get me fired? Like I was having those thoughts. So after that, every time I get a new thing, I just never tell anyone. I never tell a soul because I got so paranoid that one time. Yeah, it was hard because I got that audition like early in 2021, and then they were added to the game like a year after, so like almost a year after.
So
like
hard.
maybe. Yeah, so I was like, like, how do you expect me to just keep this to myself? And I remember they even emailed me, right? Like, sent me an email just to remind me to, like, not say anything.
Those emails creep the fuck out of me because I
They
go,
do.
do they know that I told somebody? Are they like I would like oh my god, Rockstar Games does that like every 2 months. They remind you, and then I'm like, holy
like, are
cow,
they
is it just
listening?
me? Yes. So like yes, of course we tell maybe a friend, but like it's hard because we have to wait a year or 2 or 5, but we don't because we don't want to lose our jobs.
Yeah.
Same. Like it's tough, but you get in the habit of it of just like I guess there's another thing I can't tell anyone
Yeah.
about, and
Yeah.
I have to keep my work a secret. But I mean, I remember the last few days right before Gekko's launch, I was like chomping at the bit. I was like, "Ugh, I just want them. I want to be able to say something, especially with like all the reaction and everything. And I think it was the official trailer dropped, and then they still told me you have to wait another 2 or 3 days.
It's so annoying.
And I was like, what?
I know.
So yeah, it can be hard, but it's just part of the work.
It is. Yeah.
You had to wait.
I did.
emailed them like it was 3 a.m. They released
no.
it. I emailed them. I was like,
I
3 in the
asked,
morning
I
in the
was like, now that
Philippines.
the world knows, can I? And they were like, no, wait until Monday.
Oh my god.
my
It's so horrible.
God.
Welcome to our lives.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
It's my first time at a panel like this. It's really crazy seeing you guys live. I have a question specific to Alejandro.
Sure.
I'm a really big Guilty Gear fan.
Yes.
And what was like your recording process at Guilty Gear? And did you meet anyone like Naoki or Daisuke?
Similar to Valorant, we record one-on-one with a lot of, especially fighting games too. So I got to meet all the directors, and I got to speak to some of the Japanese team. But most of I didn't even get to interact with Brizzy, who does Abba's voice. So it was a lot of like them kind of guiding me through what she had already recorded, but hadn't been finalized yet. And when I was working that job, I also didn't know what voice we were going to give that character until the day, because when I auditioned, I gave them like 4 or 5 options. And it turned out that they liked the sweetest, nerdiest version that I gave them. They thought that it was bringing something new to the character. So I was like, sure, I can be a little nerd. And yeah, I think it worked out. But it was a lot of one-on-one. It was nice. But it was sorry, I was just one last thing. It was a huge recording booth, the biggest recording booth I've ever been in.
Like
and
how
just
big?
like it was like half this room.
No way.
It was huge.
Where was this?
It was like north of Burbank.
Okay.
It's like up in the valley.
Cool.
But it was just wild because it was like me, and then I hear like 20 voices in my head of different people talking, and then the director on the other side of the glass.
Like directors in your head, like people
Yes.
talking from, not your creativity.
Okay, so maybe it was like
Just checking.
25 voices.
Okay, got it.
Yes, you can go. I'm sorry to keep you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for all of your questions, and thank y'all even more for your amazing answers. Unfortunately, it looks like the timer has run out, and now this round is over. But let's give a final round of applause to our VAs.
Thank you, guys.
And they will also be doing a little meet and greet outside in the pavilion patio area if you want to buy an autograph or if you want to come say hi. So if everyone can head out.
Thank you.
Thanks.